Hello there, Chunky Monkey 3001 here, and welcome along to episode number 4 of my Tekkit Let's Build series. Today we'll be taking a look at some examples of powered industrial craft lighting on board another ship in a galaxy far, far away. We'll be stress testing some blast shielding for the nuclear reactors for the ship, and we'll be taking a look at these cabins behind me. Oh, how plush. Onwards! Okay guys, welcome back on board the ship. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm sorry it's been a little bit of a wait for this episode, but I'm back and I'm determined not to let such a slip happen again. I was a little bit under the weather. I'm still not 100%, but I'm getting there. Don't worry, nothing serious. Man flu. Sorry, something very serious. Man flu. Anyway, if you're a man, you'll know exactly what I mean. Right. At the end of the last episode, I said I was going to make some funky lighting gantries. Well, basically, that's a bad idea. For a number of reasons. First of all, it takes a while to actually update the lighting in the area. Also, whilst the actual power buffers of the illuminators is charging, and the energy isn't quite enough to fill all of them at once, there's a lot of flicker going on, so it puts a little bit of stress on the server. I mean, obviously this is going to be a problem, an expected and indeed engineered problem further down the line, because the entire ship is going to be covered with these things. But basically, as a test, yes, it looks very nice. But I'm not going to be setting these things up for building out the contents of the ship, because A, it takes an awfully long time to actually set these up if I'm going to be setting them up, dismantling them, reassembling them in different locations as I'm going along the ship, and also B, that is easier, a lot easier, and more effective. I think the light actually spreads a bit further. So, purely for the purposes of temporary lighting gantries across the ship, to aid me in constructing said ship as I go along, that's going to be pretty much all you're going to see. I'm not going to be making any more, so enjoy it while it lasts. That was in part to sort of show how impractical they are as working lights, but also it's in answer to one of the comments that I had on, I believe it was episode number 2 of my Let's Build. No, never mind, just been away and checked it. It was actually episode number 3. A comment from Flash Player Eyes saying that they were a little bit concerned about the lighting and also how effective it would look in-game. Well, that's kind of partly a test. So if we just snuggle down in here, that is your lighting level in general, which isn't too bad. It does sort of fall away quite quickly the further away you get from the luminator, but that's to be expected. As long as I give it adequate coverage, I should be alright. But I do have a little something to show you, just to sort of illustrate the capabilities of the luminators. Okay guys, this beautiful monstrosity here is not something created by my own fair hands, I would like to point out. Although I'd be very pleased with it if it was. This is by a user from Planet Minecraft by the name of Thunderflare, and it's kind of in the same technical range as my ship, or certainly in terms of the power and lighting systems. We take a quick look inside. This one is a warship, however, whereas mine is a nice friendly civilian ship. I can't even read that 4 sections, that's not where I want to go. Ah, reactor! Here we go. Running off of 3 nuclear power generators. Now, they're locked out at the moment. This is the only room on the ship which has its own independent lighting in the form of glowstone. Everywhere else on the ship is exclusively lit by these reactors. Now, before I switch these on, I'm going to switch it to night. Observe the map in the top right goes dark. So we are now plunged into darkness on the outside. Not that you'd be able to tell, this room's completely sealed from the outside world. These two reactors at the back are reasonably low powered. I have been reliably informed on the Planet Minecraft page that Thunderflare posted this on, that these can run a full cycle without going pop. This wee beastie, however, melts the rear end of the ship after only half an hour. And I'm going to activate it and hope for the best. So, the lighting on board is slowly becoming slightly more stable. I'll see if I can find an area of the ship which is constantly illuminated. Here we go. Okay, so take the outside of the cabins, for example. The cabin doors, corridors, places like that. This is the sort of level of lighting that you can expect from the luminator system. Obviously, if there's a complete power loss and everything goes dead, then you're going to have this for a while whilst everything gets its juice back. But I'm perfectly happy with this, to be honest. Here we go. This is a perfect example. I'm quite happy with this. As long as the luminators aren't spaced too far apart, then we should be okay. I may supplement it in places with red power luminar lamps, but I'll make sure that they're rigged up so that they're only switched on if there's juice flowing through the actual power cables, these wee beasties. So it'll all be kosher, as it were. And incidentally, this ship proved a big inspiration for the project which I'm currently embarking on. I mean, this in here is just staggering, mind-boggling. Yes, I'll put a link for the download on the description. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. On the description for this video, so you can download it and take a look for yourself. I'm thinking I might go for a configuration a little bit like Thunderflare's warship, with 3 main reactor chambers, except I'm going to be reinforcing these a little bit. I'm going to be using, I don't mean actually physical reinforcement, I mean in terms of heat processing. So I'm going to have them in big water tanks, and probably the main one, which is going to be the highest power one, fed by 2 cooling towers, where cooling towers read snow golems. So, but anyway, we need to start working things out. So, my first concern is lighting it up. We're not going to be using those lighting gantries, and they're going to fail any moment. So, for now, let's just whack some glowstone around. Alright, so I've just added a little bit of an iron floor here, as I'm thinking the tank for the main reactor should go around here somewhere. So let's just set up a little faux reactor. Then, right, let's make a disk. Let's make a disk and drop it down. So /B, disk. Yeah, that's looking a bit more like it. So let's get some reinforced glass, which of course I cannot search for because the resolution that I play at messes with the search box. Incidentally, if anybody knows how to fix that, please let me know. It's really annoying. Set that down there and change the brush to set. Change the voxel to X230. And then set all the area between... this isn't going to look very good on a slope. But never mind, we can edit it later. Between here and here to that. There we go. Everything between here and here. And here to here. There we go. Okay, that is an enclosed tank for a nuclear reactor. The original idea was to take this metal lid off. I think I actually quite like the look of it there. Okay, so that will be our tank for our main reactor. Yeah, we like that. That looks quite cool. Can look quite technical. The gantries are dying off. Okay, so that is our main reactor chamber. Now, obviously I'm going to have to spruce it up. I'm going to have to add some extra reinforcement, especially to the bottom, which I've just realised is completely exposed. now I look at it, I'm going to have to raise it up, aren't I? I'm going to have to raise it up because I'm going to have to add a layer of blast-proof stuff to the bottom. Oh, you silly boy. Okay, so I haven't actually raised the tank up yet. That's something that I will do. I kind of got a little bit sidetracked, as I'm sure you can see. Ended up playing around with water pumps and working out whether I can quickly fill and also drain the tank with the main reactor in. And the short answer, ignore these holes in the bottom of the ship, they will be repaired. The short answer is, yes I can. So then, I've sorted out the enclosure for the nuclear reactor. I've lifted it off the ground a little bit, given it a layer of reinforced stone, and also touched up the top a little bit. Added a sensor here for... oh, it's mighty strange, it's not enabled. Clicky? Clicky! Fine, don't show anything then, see if I care. Yes, so sorted out the enclosure for it. So I thought it's time for a bit of nuclear testing. Yes, that's right. I'm going to do it. You can't stop me. I'm going to blow up the back end of the ship, and I'm going to do it right now with this purely uranium-filled nuclear reactor. I've gone stark raving mad. Ah. Oh, there goes the pipes. I'm going to explode the back end of the ship. But only the back end of the ship, because I'm not that silly. Yes, I'm in the testing world at the moment. Ha! I tricked you. Oh! Well, there she blows. I think it's safe to say that the reactor shielding was less than effective. I may as well just have plonked a nuke on the roof. Yes, that didn't work very well. Although saying that, the bottom's fairly well protected. That's been preserved reasonably. But the rest of it's taking a bit of a pounding. I noticed there seems to be a lot of corner action going on. What I mean by that is the blast seems to have shot out the corners of the casing. Oh, don't mind out there. It's beginning to look like a bit of a starship graveyard. I'll explain why there's a quarter of a shell of my ship over there later. Yeah, definitely weakness in the corners. A massive weakness on the top, obviously. That must be where the control cable and the pipe came out. It's knocked a big hole in my water tank as well. Right, some revision is necessary. I shall reset this world back to a pre-radiative state and get back to you. Okay, so I've come up with a much better idea. Why not use the force field mod, which is now installed, to make a force field? Which is kind of what it was built for. This beastie here is an MFS... one of those reactor containment fields. And basically it does exactly what it says on the elaborately constructed tin. As soon as this reactor looks like it's going to go critical, this thing will shield it in a big bubble force field and basically contain all of the blast. Except for, I believe, these two beasties coming out here. I think that they will not be surrounded, or won't be cut off, more to the point, by the actual force field. And so therefore, I'll still need to plug some gaps over the top here. But I've just got the reactor running normally, and under sort of a tiny little bit of uranium, just to charge this beast up. I think that's probably enough by now, so let's turn it off. Here we go. So let's plug this beastie up. Let's see, let's go for pa. Yeah. There we go. Full to the brim. Eat uranium, reactor boy. And final little measure. delete this. And slap down a reinforced block. Ooh, get rid of that one as well. And as soon as I destroy this, obviously it's going to destroy the switch, which will activate the reactor, which will make things pop. Oh, there we go. That's the cable dead. This will still hold its charge. This is the thing that projects the energy over to the force field. Ah, force field is active. Force field is active. Let's see if it does its job. Boom! Ooh, still a hole. Okay. So there's still a hole in the back. The water tank is still being punctured. But I tell you what, that is a drastic improvement. That's an enormous improvement over what happened before. Marvellous. Okay, well, that's definitely the way to go for the main reactor. The sub-reactors are probably going to be ones like you saw at the start of this video, just 3 blocks with minimal charging. I ignore that hole. Yes, that's definitely something to think about. And before we round off the video, I also wanted to show you this little section here. Don't worry, this didn't fall off the ship and re-enter orbit. There's another one. Chunk lag. There's another one just over there, which is standing derelict. If it ever loads in, literally just sliced it out of the main ship out in space. You can still see the remains of that secondary lighting gantry there. Yes, just use this to come up with a few ideas for designs for the balconies and for the staterooms and so on and so forth and blah blah blah. I'm going to turn it to night time just so we can see the lovely lighting effects. Lights are looking a bit low actually. Let me just... that skeleton looked blue then. Let me just pop some extra juice into here. Oh, good grief. I've got... Ah, yes, the search box comes back on small GUIs, which is a little bit annoying, but never mind. Right, let me just get some single-use batteries. I didn't want those. We'll get there in a second. Tappity-tappity-tappity-tap. That'll do. Feed these into the beast. There we go. You can see the lights coming back on again in the background. And eat those. Right. So that's just powered up the lights. The equivalent of putting a 50p in the meter, I suppose. So, yes, basically, I'm thinking of designs for the edges of the individual decks, something along those lines with nice little colours and luminators every now and again, which also helps to illuminate the floor above. I've also used... what are they called? Are they anti-covers or are they triple cover? Oh no, I'm locked in a... Rats! I hate this resolution. Again, if anybody has any way to solve this search box not showing up-y issue, please let me know. So... Oh, I could have done with typing iron in that last screen, so scrolling through all of this. And yes, I'm aware I've scrolled the wrong way, so buzz off. Yes, they're anti-covers. These are actually iron anti-covers. You can see there's a slight lip there between the anti-cover and the full block. The reason for that is because I can put this little funky highlight strip here. Incidentally, what do you think is better? Lapis or whatever that is. What is it? Sapphire. Sapphire or lapis. I like that. I'm thinking of having a different coloured strip for every deck, so that could be sapphire, and then as you can see down here, the next one down could be ruby, the next one down could be whatever that is. Emerald, is it, possibly? The next one could be gold. I was thinking of having basalt in there as well, but that's just dull. Perhaps I'll use that somewhere else in the ship. But anyway, yeah, so I've also got some ideas for railings. I managed to inadvertently stumble across an intriguing idea for a pharmacy, but that's by the by. So I tried with, what are these? Posts, pillars, something like that. You know, the way the blocks... Excuse me? Do you mind dying quietly? Thank you. The way you can cut down the blocks, part of Elaram's Red Power mod. That really didn't work out very well. Also tried the posts. The fence posts from Railcraft. They didn't work either, because apparently you build a post going straight down, it will have a vertical post, but it doesn't join
onto the side of other blocks in much the same way as regular fence posts from vanilla Minecraft do. So I've resorted to a little bit of DIY. So I'm using, what are they, strips, cover strips. Are they cover strips or panel strips? One of the two. Covers, I think now, covers of glass, and also iron cover strips to make funky railings. And I did it with the glass on the inside and with the glass on the outside. And whilst I prefer the look of the glass on the inside, if I use the glass on the outside, then, because obviously these balconies are above the central shopping street area thing, I wanted people to be able to overlook without having to risk their lives by jumping on top of railings. Then realised that if you combine the outer railings with the anti-covers, you can see almost all of the floor below, along with a nice coloured strip just there. So, yes, anti-covers in combination with exterior facing covers, glass covers and railings, and these nice coloured strips create a nice effect outside the balcony of the rooms. The rooms, of course, the rooms. Oh, look, a window. I have here two classes of room. They're a bit basic and bland at the moment. Yes, I know that everything's looking a bit sort of monotone because everything's in iron at the moment. Don't worry, I'm going to get hopefully a little bit more creative by the time it comes to the real thing. But yes, complicated machinery, big iron door which is stuck open, and this is the third class stateroom. Pokey little affair, but nice nonetheless. You still get a double bed, you still get a porthole window thing, and you still get a chest to store stuff in. A chest which currently is connected to a pipe, which I might utilise, I might not. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that or how I would actually do it. An individual delivery system delivering individual deliveries to each individual delivery room would be nice. And also next to impossible, I think. But we shall see. Those are panels. They should be covers. That's irritating. Never mind. Each room is going to have its own individual terminal, which is hooked up, bing, through cabling. Oh dear, some of you are going to say, he's going to cable things. Why not use wireless antennas? They're a lot more efficient and they're a lot easier to use. Because I'm a geek, basically. I want everything to be hardwired, just because I can. Well, because I think I can. I probably can't, but that remains to be seen. But anyway, basically, let me show you this tidy one that I haven't just smashed up. From the outside, you approach the room, the door will be closed, and any rooms which have been allocated to passengers will have the passenger's name above here, and only the passenger can access their room, because they're each going to have a little floppy disk with some data information that they slot into that there. It reads, it's read by the computer. Oh, wood panelling, I forgot I put that there. That was a bit of a surprise. What do you think? Just to spruce it up a bit. No pun intended. Spruce is a type of wood. I realised that after I said it. Anyway, yes, so the computer reads the disk and fires the information off through the network, which is there. Yeah. Fires it off through the network and basically says, now listen here, this fella's just put this disk into my door. What level clearance does he have? And does he have clearance to this particular room? The server responds, why yes, let him in, dear fellow. And flings the door open. The doors are going to be controlled. Basically, the default is going to be for the right-hand output for the computer, bear in mind that the monitor's facing this way, to be constantly on and to cut that when it receives a positive access request confirmation thing from the server, thus letting the person in. Did you see that? Did you? That skeleton committed suicide, didn't he? If this is the way things are going to go on this ship, people throwing themselves overboard, I'm thinking of knocking it in the head now. Anyway, yes, but this will also be linked to the internal messaging and email and announcement system, and also the on-board bank account system. Yes, everything's going to be done electronically, including money, which will be spent in stores and casinos and earned by doing little odd jobs and things which have yet to be determined. I'll come to that probably when it's too late. But anywho, everything will be controlled through here. And Yes, it's nicely complicated. Anyway, so this is the second class room. Big window, though smaller bed, which is unusual. But I haven't worked on sizes and proportions. Oh, it's my test area. There's a reactor over there. Yes, so that's about as far as I've gotten so far with actually making the rooms. They're dead easy to put together. Everything in the ceiling area is going to be sort of just basically build a room and snap everything in. So that's the power line coming from the 50p meter over there that I built. That's the main data line for residential. I've already decided residential is going to be residential cabins, passenger services, that sort of thing. It's going to be lime green because that's a friendly colour, and we're a friendly ship in space, apart from when things explode. Yeah, so that's basically the progress that I've gotten to so far. I think I'm going to wrap up the episode there because I've been rambling for far too long as it is, getting a little bit overexcited about things that really aren't that exciting. Yes, I shall crack on, finalise a couple more designs for the rooms, I think, and I'll start putting those into the actual ship up there in space, and we'll pick things up from next time, and I should really start prototyping a couple of computer systems, I think. Look, another jumper. And another one. That was a creeper. Go on, mate, you might as well go as well. You're looking a bit lost up there. Enderman. So, yes, I should start prototyping some computer systems to make sure that this cable system actually works. I have heard some rumblings of data loss, which could be a bit iffy, but never mind. I'll have to see if there's any way that I can safeguard against that. Anyway, once again, rambling. Thank you very much for putting up with my inane drivel. I have been and will, in due course, continue to be Chunky Monkey. If you'd like to leave a like, or if you care to leave a comment, please do so through the usual channels. It's very much appreciated. Thank you to everyone that's left comments thus far. If anybody has any questions, as Flash Player Eyes did, thank you very much for your comment, Flash Player Eyes, then I'll try and answer those as I go along. And again, this has been a pleasure, and I'll see you next time. Tally bye.